Huber,
Yo.
it's been like a month ago now.
Yeah.
But I got to play the Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, you did.
Your basic impression probably that it's Dead Space without Dead Space is
Absolutely.
basically where it's at.
Yeah.
You've got the creeps. You've got
From the creators of the original Dead Space as well.
Yeah, Glenn
Not EA,
Schofield's,
but Schofield and his crew.
Striking Distance Studios.
Yep.
They brought me up to San Francisco to this like old freaking creepy building where like the
Nice.
lights were down like low.
Love the theatrics.
And there's like all this like industrial equipment and pipes and stuff on the walls. Brittany from What's Good Games was there.
Nice.
And it's like one of those things where like you come from the sun and you come into the darkness and you can't see. And so I said hi to her, and then like 10 minutes later I got a tweet. It's like, did I just see you
Was
at an
that you?
event?
Saw a shadowy figure in the darkness.
But anyway, so we played the third level, which is called Habitat.
Great.
So I still don't know what the heck is going on with this game.
Great.
Whatever's happening in the opening, whatever the inciting incident and the lore is, no idea.
Do we think it's bioweapons?
It's somebody's experimenting on
Okay,
something.
yes.
Somebody's using this prison as an experimentation center,
Perfect.
I think. You're also communicating with some other character out there.
Okay.
But you've got your melee, the big stick.
Yeah, looked good. Looked chunky.
Yeah. You've got your guns, of course.
That looked good too.
And there's sort
I
of
saw the clip of B-roll if you're wondering. Yeah,
the
I
same
watched
footage
it.
that we're putting on.
Yeah.
We got to watch right before this.
Yeah.
There's a thing that I'm still not quite sure exactly the advantages of, but like where you can get like the perfect skill shot. Did you
I
see
saw
when
that.
the target would pop
Yeah.
up? So sometimes you kind of
Probably
like
more damage, I would
stun them a little
assume.
bit, and then you get the skill shot.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit more damage, maybe a little bit better item drop, or something
Quicker,
like
maybe
that.
more accurate. You know, you don't
Yeah.
want to miss any and make sure you miss.
Yeah. One of the things that was actually kind of interesting about that is we always talk about resource scarcity and all of that.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was in a good spot to where it's like, okay, I don't have too much, but I don't have too little.
Yeah.
Where a lot of other people I came out talking to was like, oh, that they need to give us more ammo or whatever. I'm like,
Nice.
no, I think we're okay. I think we're okay.
But I saw the dodge quite a bit. That was my biggest question about
The
this.
dodge is my biggest question.
Okay, because it seems extremely powerful. A lot of the enemies, I mean, we just saw a lot of weak enemies in that little clip that they provided. I saw some big ones, but the dodge seemed really strong against kind of the basic enemies. Was that the case for you?
The case for me is that the dodge is actually really hard to get a handle on.
Okay,
So
sweet.
maybe it's
So they made
because
it look
they're
easy.
really experienced.
Okay.
Because you actually dodge and block with the stick.
Okay.
You don't tap a button. You've got to like at the right moment hit left or right.
Oh,
on
like
the
Rise to
control stick.
Honor,
Yeah, or
dude.
you hit down to block.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little squirrely to me to like get the
Yo.
handle on it, because if you dodge too soon, well, you're just controlling your character.
Somebody played Rise to Honor. So that means does it get really intricate? Like if they attack left, do you need to dodge right, or does a side?
I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
You may need to.
Interesting.
Yeah. I will say, though, it's funny that you're saying that, like, you're just taking guys out, because
Yeah.
to me, so far, every enemy does feel threatening
Yeah.
at this stage of the game.
Good.
And so just anytime there's somebody there's like this part of the beginning where you're walking through sewage.
Yeah.
And enemies just pop up out of the sewage. You're like, oh, crap. And but I was trying to melee as much as I can, trying to
Yeah.
save those bullets.
Heck yeah.
The stomp is back.
Saw that. Love that.
So you stomp guys, and
Yeah.
then you can,
I will.
Doom-esque get resources out of them.
Yeah, I didn't get to do it myself, Blood, but the Dead Space stomp, that's pretty hard to top.
Right.
The violence, and the intense grunt that Isaac makes.
Yeah.
This one it looked fine.
There are also like these pod things to stomp. There are also some like these little creepos that like jump at your face and stuff that you got to watch out for, which I don't think I saw in the B-roll. Do you remember any little guys?
Didn't see any little freaks, no.
Yeah, so you got to watch out for those. I like the haptics in there.
Yep,
I felt good. We
cool.
were playing on PS5.
Very cool.
You had some kind of block puzzle-y kind of things where you move a crate and then you can climb up to a thing.
Perfect.
But then when I was like, okay, well that thing was just like a bonus. Like, so now where do I go? And it's like, oh, the crate I moved was also hiding a vent.
Nice.
Get into the vents. feel very vulnerable.
Okay. Can you shoot in the vent? Like tight quarters or something?
But it's just like one of those things where you feel like you're on your elbows, you know, and you feel like you're kind of like struggling to get through rather than it's just like whatever automatic.
Yeah.
It's just an animation thing. But, you know, I like that.
Just thinking of Vasquez in the vents and Aliens.
They've been hyping up the deaths. I had all kinds of different crazy deaths. I had my head ripped off. I had my arms ripped off. I had this thing like reach its fingers in and gouge out my eyes.
Jeez.
Some other thing is take a bite out of my head.
Awesome.
Yeah. So a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah, they're super proud of that, and I love that.
Down on the D-pad is like a health injection to heal.
Yeah.
And that takes a second.
Okay.
So you can't just like pop that.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that, there is a time where like I had like a sliver of health or whatever, and I died. And then after I died, then I actually had a little bit. The checkpoint gave me a little bit more health than what I had when I crossed that checkpoint. So they give you a little bit of room to work with.
Cool.
It also looks like some items might respawn, at least in this demo or whatever.
Money maybe and stuff.
Like health items and stuff. It's like you can pick up health items after you've died.
Cool.
So there's extra that pops up there.
Cool.
The audio.
Phenomenal.
It's just you hear stuff in the walls.
I love that.
And you don't know, is this gonna come out and jump at me or not? And sometimes there's rooms where things would come out of the vents. There's rooms where things would come out of the floor.
Just hunting you.
Yeah.
Feels like they're hunting you.
Yeah. And the thing is then once they started like throwing like multiple enemies at me, it's like
Yeah.
But so far the grip, the stasis kind of thing, that feels like it might be a little too much.
Okay.
Like you might have too much access to it. I know there is like a battery or resource tied to it, but I felt like I could usually take advantage of that. And so like if enemies coming at me, it's like, okay, I'll grab them.
Stasis.
Throw them into another enemy, or like grab a toolbox and like smash its head in.
Does that stuff recharge, or do you need a resource to charge it up?
That's something I was trying to like actually figure out what the mechanic on it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt like I pretty much always had it when I needed it.
Yeah.
I wasn't like running out of it too much.
Yeah.
So I'm curious exactly how that charges out.
Yeah. I know in Dead Space it would like recharge a little, but then to go past that you would need consumables.
Yeah, maybe it's similar to that.
Yeah.
There are these vending machine / 3D printer things, is where you put all your blueprints and upgrades and stuff.
Cool.
Which is pretty similar to Dead Space as well. It takes a lot of resources though to like get things, so you really are making active choices in this demo so far. So it's like okay, well I can like spend 600 now to increase my damage on my weapon, but there's like boom bullets that were sitting there for 1,800, and I'm like, boom bullets.
Shit.
I want
explosive rounds or something.
So like how much do I? But then later I got the blueprint for
shotgun.
The shotgun, which I think it's called the skunk gun or something like that.
Perfect.
And that was like 800. So I was like, again, it's like, I could get the shotgun, or do I keep saving for boom bullets? And I was like, and I don't have that much time because it's like, like a 1-level demo.
Yeah. Blood, one thing I noticed that was actually really distracting was the health bar on the back of the neck. I wasn't the only one. We were all watching that footage, and obviously playing it versus watching it is different because your eyes focus on different things.
Yeah, I wasn't focused on it.
Okay. Oh my. Yeah, I just kept like.
Was it like blinking?
It was
stuff?
just there was the bright green amidst the darkness, and then there was like the blue above it would like blink and flash.
Okay. I wonder if that had to be maybe that's where the grip is shown off.
Yeah. So.
It was like blue is grip.
Yeah, it was distracting, and I hope you can like dim it or something. Because when his health was low and red, it wasn't as distracting because it more like blended in with his suit. And obviously, you get like different suits later on, but just something I noticed as is just distracting looking.
Shoot the tentacles on the wall, Dead Space style.
Nice.
First mutation you see, it seems like it's mandatory. Like you're just forced to watch the thing mutate. And so if you're not familiar with this mechanic, whatever is infecting these dudes over time become stronger or whatever. And so when you start seeing tentacles popping out, you want to take them out quick, because if you don't, then it's going to mutate into a worse guy.
Love
and
this idea.
I swear I had full health, and it was like swat, dead.
Yes.
So really, really like encouraging you to like pay attention,
kill enemies quickly
kill these guys quickly.
Yeah, I love that.
But getting into that, one of the tricky things I have is, again, I was talking about when you get multiple enemies and trying to prioritize things.
Yeah.
The second area we got into was this oxygen area, right? And so there's you come in, there's a bunch of trees, you can see Jupiter up there and all that. So it's
that.
Tiny, tiny whiff of that in the B-roll.
Yeah.
There's a part where you have to, I think you have to stealth. There's like a robot stalking around. I'm like, I'm not screwing with this thing. I'm going to find my way to just not mess with it. So I kind of stealth my way around.
Awesome. Can you crouch down? Is that okay? Perfect. Can you stealth kill?
Yes. I didn't find it out till the end.
Yes.
But you can get a good stab in the back if there's somebody that you can actually get behind. Yeah.
Yes.
But what I was gonna say with the mutations and with the different enemy types and stuff like that, I got to this place in the oxygen center and where there's all this like fog hanging on the ground and stuff. There was like this fog wall.
I saw I saw some fog go off in one of the clips, and it looked awesome.
It looks great, but here's the thing: you can't freaking see what's over there.
That's so
you
cool.
Got things spitting at you and attacking you, and you're like, I can't. So do I go into the fog? And you go into the fog, you get grabbed, or you try to lure them out. It's like I took a lot of attempts to figure out what to do just in that tiny little room.
Blood, that is some top tier survival horror that I am here for, man.
It's like, how many guys are in there?
Yeah. Like you just said, maybe shoot wildly into the fog because you're freaked out, or actually go in to try to fish this thing out. That is really sweet.
And then is one of them going to mutate? Because I think that's what happened. Is like I was trying to deal with...
It's like you don't have to mutate, so you just run in there.
Out, and then something mutated and it just like came at me.
Yeah.
Like, dang it.
Perfect. There's something in the fog.
The one, whatever / downside, whatever, the water slide thing from the Gamescom demo.
Yeah.
As you could predict, it gets kind of tedious.
Okay.
You know, it's just like, oh, I hit that thing. Yeah. Replay. Okay, now try to dodge it. Oh, I hit that thing. Replay. Okay, dodge the first thing, dodge the second thing.
I always go back to God of War 3 for these comparisons. The Icarus flight things in 3, like dodging. Originally, when that game came out, I was like, yeah, these are whatever. These are filler. But then, like, I don't know, later on, like years later, I actually love those sections. So I wonder if this will be similar. Just like when you're doing it, it just kind of feels weird and out of place, like trial and error. But I don't know.
It's not super long.
Okay.
You know, but it is just, it's just one of those things where like, okay, after like
you get
3 failed attempts, I was like, okay, please just get through this.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where it's like, okay, you want it to have some sort of threat, but because you're just redoing it, then it doesn't, then it just sort of like
Are there like bonus resources you can get? That'd be fun if it was like some Sonic the Hedgehog.
It was all just
like, oh, go down this path.
Go this way and your head's going to get chopped off, you know? Like, go that way and it won't.
Yeah. It's funny.
There's something you kind of saw. It looks like there's constantly going to be new creatures that you're like, I'm not sure what this thing can do. Like stuff crawling around on the ceiling and reaching down to grab you and
perfect.
All of that. Yeah. Oh, then there was definitely like one of these places where there was like I didn't see this when I played it, but I saw it in the B-roll where he like stasis grabbed a guy, gripped him, and then slammed him up against like this spike wall.
Yeah.
And stuck him to the wall.
And it was still breathing.
Yeah.
It was like still alive when it was impaled, I saw in the clip. And then he threw like a little propane canister at it. It looked really cool. I love the environmental stuff.
Yeah.
And
hopefully there's more of that.
Yeah, a lot of environmental stuff I'm into, Blood, and that fog mechanic, if there are maybe other visual impairments throughout, because adding that into the mix, into a combat encounter, that'll get your blood pumping. Mm-hmm. I really like what I saw there.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you have any other questions, but that's about it, what I played. You know, it's maybe 45 minutes time in there.
What was the power level with the gun compared to the melee? Like how many shots versus how many melee hits? Did the gun feel really, really strong? Because I know you said ammo was limited.
Yeah.
Did each of those bullets feel strong and valuable?
I think the main thing to me with the gun is just the ability to keep your distance.
Nice.
You know?
So when you're in close, like, you're at
regular
risk.
Handgun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, it's like there's that dodge mechanic, but it is tricky to get used to. Like to get that timing on, you know, like I do think that could use a little bit of better feedback.
Okay.
I know practice is probably a big part of it, but I feel like there's just like a little bit like when does this dodge? How does this work? You know?
Yeah.
Because there's not any kind of prompts or anything, which I like that there's not prompts, but it just feels like a little bit, where's the window? Yeah.
Sick.
But looking forward to playing more of it
Same.
in December. Thank you, everyone. We are Easy Allies. We are independent critics. You can support us at patreon.com/easyallies. And be sure to hit like and ring the bell and subscribe and all that good stuff for more coverage of other games. Thank you.